What's the most important lesson of this book for future generations?
The big message is still gets back to this look forward and then reason back idea. And there we talk about extrapolation and interpretation, but leaders have to keep their attention focused on what the future will be. I can remember having arguments about this with a CEO that I taught with for a while. He argued that as a CEO, he needed to spend 90% of his time thinking about the future and only 10% of his time doing other things. But everybody kept pulling him into fighting fires and helping solve these disputes or these contract issues, and so he was never able to spend as much time thinking and studying the future or what the future might be as he wanted to. But that has always struck me as an important conversation. And then we look at some of these guys like Bill Gates, who when he was CEO, several times a year he would take off on what he called think weeks. And he would just isolate himself. He would bring armloads of things he wanted to read. In those days we didn't have electronic books. And he would study a topic that he thought would be important for the company, but that was a future topic. And he did that with the internet, for example, in 1994, 95, and completely changed the strategy. And he did it for many other things. So he was a really thoughtful guy. So was Andy Grove. Steve Jobs was really thoughtful too, but we don't have evidence that he went off for these very deliberate think week periods. What Steve would do, he'd go off for a couple of years and think about something. He'd go on a trip to India and think about life and technology and the future of mankind, and then he'd come back with a perspective, and then he'd do something, and then he'd go off and do something else. But these were all really deeply thoughtful people with thinking about the future.